Hi there, and welcome to yet another episode of Her Standards with me, Queen Tambori. As usual, I am so excited to bring to you stories about women. But today, actually, I'm hanging out with two amazing ladies. And you know where they work? They are actually the people behind the scenes in our airports doing all the hard work. We rarely get to see them, but you know what? On Her Standards, we are going to unveil their faces, but what's more is actually the fact that they are going to tell us what their job entails, probably some of the highlights of the careers, and maybe low moments, and what we can do in order to excel in this field. Remember, we are available on KTN Home, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. I'm also available as Queen Tambori, and you can always get in touch with me. Remember, your feedback is always welcome. Do not hesitate to hit us up. Tell us what you think about the show. Tell us about the discussions you want us to have on this show. But above all, tell us about the women you want to see featured on this particular platform. In case you're wondering where this beautiful place where we are shooting is, we are actually at 4 Points by Sheraton Airport Hotel. Now, somewhere it is written that these people won amazing awards. They are the Africa's winning airport hotel in Africa. So if you want to have a good time with your friends, with your colleagues, with your family, please don't hesitate to drop in and experience this amazing hospitality. Now, without much ado, allow me to bring to you these amazing women. They're very funny, by the way. That's what I realized. These people who work in the airline industry, maybe there is a gas that we need to find out what it's all about. They're very funny, but also very smart. But above all, we want to know exactly what happens behind the scenes. This show is actually brought courtesy of some of the friends of the show, and that is Jambojet Airlines. If you haven't flown with them, maybe this is your opportunity to walk to their spaces, book, a sport, travel around the country, tembea Kenya, but above all, support industries that are homegrown. Kwa hayo machache, kelele na nderemo, let's allow me to and help me welcome these two ladies. I am talking about the amazing Sheila. And of course, joining us is also Ruth. So, ladies, habari zenu?
Nzuri sana.
Karibuni sana. Mbona mnakaa wapole sana na nyinyi si wapole?
Sisi ni wapole.
Nyinyi ni wapole?
Sisi ni wapole.
Yeah. Good stuff. Welcome to Her
you.
Standards.
Thank you very much.
We are very excited to have you here today.
As well too.
Yeah, and I'm happy that I am hosting you. This is your first TV appearance?
Yes.
Hebu tuma salamu.
My first.
Tuma salamu kwanza before you tell us who you are.
Salamu nyumbani.
Salimia watu wa kutoka wapi na wapi. Yes.
Salamu nyumbani. Watu wa Ukunda, watu wa Eldoret, watu wa Kisii. Pokea salamu kutoka kwangu.
Good stuff.
Asante.
Ruth is the grounds operation manager at Jambojet, right?
Yes.
Please tell us a bit about yourself.
All right. As you said, my name is Ruth Mayaka, and I'm in charge of all ground activities at the airport with Jambojet. Basically, my role entails ensuring that we have a safe and secure flight before departure. So that's my role. It's actually it entails a lot of things, but in a nutshell, that is what it is.
That is what you do.
Yes.
So, in case I lose my luggage,
Yes.
are you the person to look for?
Absolutely yes.
Mumesikia? Where's
Yes.
where's my camera?
However,
we found her on Her Standards.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, however, Jambojet as a company, we have put measures in place to ensure that our guests don't lose luggage. And if that happens, we will obviously have a way of fast-tracking and reuniting yourself with your bag. Yes.
We'll hold you to account. You know, this is on live television broadcast.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Now, also joining me, and of course, making her debut on Her Standards is the beautiful Sheila Bonyo, who is a flight dispatch at Jambojet still?
Yes.
Awesome. Tell me, what do you do, Mama? What do you do at Jambojet?
Okay, so as you said, my name is Sheila Bonyo. I'm a flight operations officer. That's my role at Jambojet. And what we do is it's a cocktail of activities.
Yeah.
We do so much. I would call flight operations officers the pilots on ground, because what they do is they start from planning. We will look at the routes, we'll look at the weather, we will do the fuel calculations, and release the flight, monitor it until she lands safely at her destination. Yes.
Yeah, the people who follow the flight from origin to destination.
Destination. Okay. Nikki na nyinyi,
Yes.
I have looked for you because the questions I have regarding, these questions actually came to me through my children.
All right.
And when they asked me those questions, I realized that I also didn't have an answer. So I said I would find out, and Google is always your friend. But I don't need to go to Google now that you're here. Sasa. Let's start from the basics. Is there traffic? Can there be traffic in the airspace?
Yes, there can be.
Okay.
Yes, there can be, and there always is, but it is very well managed. Yes, it's managed. That basically won't fall under my category, but it is my duty to know where my aircraft is at any particular time while she's in flight. So yes, there is, but that can be dealt with by a different person altogether. They're called air traffic controllers. Yes, they take care of the traffic up there.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the other question I was asked, Sheila, is say I have a chopper, okay, like in the next couple of years I'll have one. So, I mean, this is her standards. We have to dream.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have to set standards. We have to dream and have visions.
Yes.
What is the procedure of, say, flying a private plane or chopper? What is the procedure? And then, of course, I'm also told you have to take it to it has to park at the airport. Please educate me before I make the order. Yeah.
So before you make your order of the plane, you have to let the regulator know, and the regulator in this case is our Kenya Civil Aviation Authority. Yes, so they will take you through the processes of acquiring one and getting one here. Then when you come, of course, now that's when you start the legal documentation, and any other thing that may be needed, they'll be of help. But for registration and such, Kenya Civil Aviation are the people to deal with it.
Okay. We'll get to ask you more questions later, but I want to go back to Ruth now. Ruth, you're the grounds operation manager at Jambo Jet. Yeah, you've been at it for a couple of, you've been in the industry for a couple of years.
Yes.
Precisely how many?
More than a decade.
Hey, Shangwe, Nderemo, clap for her. More than a decade?
Yes, more than a decade.
How is that? How has that been?
It has been an amazing experience, to say. And for sure, if I can tell you, Quinta, is that each and every flight that we do handle has got a different experience. You will handle a flight in the morning with totally different experience, and the next hour you handle another flight with totally different experience. So you get to learn so much when handling flights. And that experience makes you to grow. You tap the opportunities out of it because then you get to resolve so much issues, problems here and there, and then you're dealing with people. And yes, you get to learn so much. So it has been an amazing journey, I can say. I started quite some time back. So yes, it has been quite a good journey.
A good journey.
Yes.
So nyinyi ndio mnasemanga sipangwingwi, I can deal with anything.
Absolutely, bring it on.
Bring it on, I can handle it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
How did you get from, you know, customer service and then to ground operations manager? The reason I'm asking this is this show is actually watched by many young women, and we receive lots of questions about, you know, career progression. What do I need to do in order to move from point A to point B? So probably there's someone who's watching and wondering, one day I would like to be ground operations manager, but how do I get there? What do I need to study in school? What kind of disciplines do I need to check on myself? What kind of experience do I need? What kind of, you know, out-of-job experience do I need in order to get here? Possibly you could just shed more light on that before I can get to Sheila Bonyo.
Okay,
Yes.
so basically when I was in high school, I didn't know that I will get myself into aviation industry. However, immediately after finishing, my eldest brother had just joined the aviation industry.
Yeah.
And then when he could come to the village home, I will see a city gentleman. And I will admire that. So otherwise, I had failed to get opportunity in teaching, P1. Even with my good grades in Form 4, I still failed to get, I remember I even went for an interview to Migori, Teachers College, but it failed. But I think I was destined to be in aviation. So after that, then I got to join East Africa School of Aviation. And I studied travel and tourism. I did up to management level. And in between, when I done a diploma level 1 and 2, I got the job as a CSA. So I started at the bottom. I started down there, and then I did my internship at JKI, one of the companies. And then I got a privilege to join one of the ground handling agency, a very prominent one at the airport, where I worked for around 8 years, but different departments. And yes, it reached a point I felt like I needed a more challenging role. And yes, Jambo Jet were here for me. I got the job in Ukunda. My first posting with Jambo Jet was in Ukunda. That was in 2017, June, where I worked for approximately 3 years. And I was transferred to Eldoret, where I worked until recently. And yes, after Eldoret, I got my promotion to be the manager ground services. And here I am. So that is basically my journey, how I started. So for those ones who are saying how they want to maneuver around, it is as easy as that. You only need to remain focused.
You remain focused.
Yes.
You'll share with us more tips. I want to go back to Sheila.
Yes.
Sheila, when did you develop this love relationship with the airline industry? Is it something that you grew up with, or were you inspired by an incident or by someone?
I'll take this back to my primary school days. So there's this passage around in Standard 6, thereabouts, and it was a visit to the airport. That was the
I remember that one.
It was a visit to the airport. So we came as a class to the airport, and I looked at the airport, and it was wow. It was beautiful, and you know, the people there, they were welcoming. The smiles that the aviators have.
Is it genuine?
It is.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it comes out naturally.
Okay.
So yes, that was there, and then I knew I have to be here. I had not really pointed out at anything else, but I knew this is where I would end up. Yes. Yes.
And the rest is history.
I would call it the rest is history because the journey started there. Yes.
And what did you study? How did you manage to get to flight dispatch? What did you study?
So flight operations / dispatch is a course that is offered in many institutions currently. So I studied flight operations, and then I got myself in the field because, okay, so first let me take you through the journey. So I went to college, I did flight operations, then I got internship with the meteorological department. May not seem very related, but we actually do a lot to do with meteorology, the weather and everything. So I did that. Then my second internship was with an airline, and I was absorbed. And then I moved. I just got from there.
You got from there?
Yes.
Grew through the ranks. What is some of your winning attitude? What are some of the winning spirits? What is that thing that you wake up in the morning, you look at Sheila in the mirror and say, girl, you gotta go for it. What keeps you going?
I would say just wanting to be good at what I do. Every other day, it's a different challenge altogether. And when I wake up, I'm like, I want this to be a successful day, a day when all flights have arrived safely. You know, we've had incidences in the aviation industry, fatal ones. So every other day is like, today is that day when safety should be observed, flight following should be done to the letter, and all flights should arrive safely. That's basically it.
That's the best case scenario. We'll ask you about worst case scenario. But let me get back to Ruth. You know, anyone who has flown and has been to that side of the airport, okay, maybe it's just being you know, subjective, but I always feel like the representation in terms of, I believe you are the guys who wear the reflectors. Am I right?
Yes, basically all of us do wear reflectors. Yes.
When you walk on that other side,
yeah,
of the ramp side.
Yes.
So, I always feel like I see fewer people who look like me in terms of gender. So is that the reflection? Is that the reality? Do we have, in terms of gender balance, how is it? Yeah, because when you talk about issues like ground operations, flight dispatch, you know, we're thinking about people who are muscled and they're wearing pants, and I mean, what is the reality on the ground? Kwa ground vitu vinakaaje?
Yeah, basically I can say in aviation industry, you are right that it's a kind of male-dominated industry. Yeah. But let me give gratitude to Jumbo Jet. Today I will tell you, and I will tell you on camera, that Jumbo Jet has made a lot of strides. That male gender is at 54%. Yes. So we are kind of different. So, but yes, basically in aviation, yes, it's a male-dominated kind of environment. Yeah. But Jumbo Jet has really made a lot of effort to ensure that female who are already in and they have passion, self-driven people with the right skills, they are absorbed to the company. Yes.
Other than, you know, being very strategic about uplifting women, what other initiatives does Jumbo Jet do? Because you see, this show, it's all about empowering women. It's about creating connections and also influencing. So maybe there's an organization who is looking up to Jumbo Jet and saying, wow, how did they attain 54%? You know, because that's huge in Kenya. I mean, look at the parliament. We are struggling to get a third. Jamani.
And Jumbo Jet, here we are at
54%, which is really commendable. So other than just being strategic, what do you think are those initiatives that have been put in place in order to, you know, just uplift both the genders? Because I believe we are all born equal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. I will say that it has also, Jumbo Jet has also come up with kind of training that will discourage or disapprove. We have a very strong elaborative culture in Jumbo Jet, and we have, the management has really done a lot in sensitizing the female, or rather the whole staff, about stereotyping. So that makes it so easy for females to come out with their skills and they're able to grow within the company. Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. So Sheila, just before I talked to Ruth, we were talking about the best case scenario, that when you wake up in the morning, your aim is to make sure that everything spans out smoothly. But that is not always the case, right?
Yes.
Because there have been incidences where bad things have happened, unfortunate things have happened. So in such a case, what is expected of you? Yeah, what is it that you do? What kind of skills and training do you need in order to manage, you know, crisis? Because they do happen.
The first thing, I would not pray for such a scenario.
Of course
anyway.
not.
It's
of course
a day
not.
Everyone else dreads for.
Yeah.
However, we have to plan for it, because there are those you see the unfortunate times when such things have to happen. When such happens, we have a whole network and team that is mandated to handle that. So on my end, as the person who will be following the flight and knowing where she is at any particular time, I will talk to the air traffic controllers. I'll let them know that there's this flight of mine, I cannot see her, or I already have this information that this and this and this has happened. and so they will help us with assistance. There's assistance that comes from the government. However, there's also internal mechanisms that Jambojet as a company has put in place to handle that. So mine will just be to activate the team. Mine is communication. So I will communicate that to the team, and the team will assemble, and that will be taken care of.
Well, you heard it right here on Her Standards. I am hanging out with two beautiful, amazing, smart, brilliant ladies who are in top management at Jambojet Airlines. Now, what we are doing today is basically disseminating information, things that you thought you knew or you have been taking for granted about, operations on the other side of the airport. We are used to, the glamorous side, forgetting that actually things have to be done behind the scenes. So I'm very excited to be hosting these two beautiful ladies who I would say are breaking barriers and also breaking ceilings, setting standards in the aviation industry. If you're just joining us, thank you so much. And of course, you can still get in touch with us on social media at KTN Home, at Queen Tambori. Also hit our producer up. She's called Grace Waweru on the socials. We would like to take a short break. Remember, this beautiful place where we are filming is actually 4 Points by Sheraton Airport, Nairobi Airport Hotel. If you haven't been here, I wonder what you're waiting for. We'll be right back and we'll be able to carry on with this conversation. Sheila, are you on social media?
Yes, I am. On Twitter, I'm S_Molen. On our Instagram, She Molen. That's where you can find me.
That's where you can find these powerful ladies on social media. Make sure that you hit them up. Okay, not just yet. Let's finish the show first. Then you can inbox them. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you describe the work environment in the airline industry? Ruth?
Work environment in the airline industry is sometimes it's challenging and it is very fun. I can say that because then in aviation, we work on shifts. Yeah. We have to ensure that you are comfortable traveling early in the morning and coming back late in the evening. So we work on the shift. And the environment working is it's a highly regulated environment. And so what we keep tabs on each and every other time is knowledge, information, each and every time. Yeah, so I can describe it as a fun environment, getting to connect with people each and every day. So, and a highly regulated environment.
Highly regulated?
Yes.
Sheila, I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what your job entails. But before you explain to me some of the traits that someone or people or women need in order to thrive as a flight dispatch manager, maybe you could just, because I am so curious, what does your day look like? What time do you wake up? What do you eat? What do you read? When you get to work, what happens? What time do you close down? When you go home, what dreams do you dream?
I like the part of dreaming. Yeah. Now, so on a personal level, my day starts at 4:30 a.m. every day. So I have to wake up. I love to jog, so I do jog in the morning, then get ready for work. Usually, I'm at work by 6 in the morning. Yes, so when I report to work, I have to know what's there for the day or a couple of days to come. So we usually get this through, we have a document called NOTAM. So this is a notice to airmen that tells us about the airspace and the airfields, the different airports that we operate into. So I'll have a look at that, I'll look at the weather, and I would also say weather patterns, you see. I would want to know if there's a cyclone in the Indian Ocean, is it moving closer or is it going far? So I'll also need that, so I'll look at the weather and plan, yes. So when I close my day, I read a book, just a page or two, not too much, and then I retire early to bed, yes. By 10, I close my day at 10 because I also have another day tomorrow, yes.
Wow. You know, someone sent me information that a flight operation officer, you assist in planning, flight paths, taking into account aircraft performance and loading, en route winds, thunderstorm, turbulence, forecast, airspace restriction, and airport conditions. What do you need in order to stay grounded? Say you are running this operation. What are those traits that you really need to have in order to excel in this position? I think that is core.
What I would say is the core for any career, not only ours, is discipline. Even if you have the will, the skills, minus discipline, of course, you cannot achieve. So what is the discipline? When I come to work, I have to make sure I know all those things. What is happening? I need to know what's happening around me, you know? Yes, so I have to keep up with the trends. I have to read, get the information, and with that, I will do my planning successfully. Otherwise, it will all be in vain, because let me give an example. So if I don't plan, if I don't get information of how, say, Mombasa looks today, then I dispatch you, you go there, and God forbid something happens. You know, the loss is too much. It would be too much to handle. So what do? Due diligence, discipline, just getting the information, do what needs to be done, then plan.
Please face your camera.
Okay.
I'm lucky I'm here with you today because we are in that group of people who never understand when my flight is cancelled last minute. Yes. What exactly goes on in your mind at that particular time?
At that particular time, when a flight is cancelled, and I know that is the time when Ruth doesn't like my work so much. Yes. So what happens is, at the end of the day, my work is to ensure that you're safe. So the flight has to be safely dispatched. I have to make sure where you're going, the airport is open. I have to make sure the weather en route is good. So if any of those is compromised in any way, if let's say the aircraft status is not good, sometimes we have, you see, these are machines we're using. So if the status is not okay to fly, then I will ground the plane. So when that happens, now we'll have to deal with cancellations. Yes.
So what are you asking us to do to understand?
At the time I'm cancelling a flight, what I am asking you as a passenger is understand that I am after your safety. I just want you to be safe. So let me have you on ground, let me sort what is happening, and then you will depart. Let's say, for instance, it's weather. Visibility is very poor. So the pilots basically can't see much. So what am I going to do? I can't dispatch you into that bad weather. So what I will do is tell them, hold on ground. Let the passengers know, let Queen here know that we're here on ground for your own safety. Once the situation gets better, then we will take off. Because at the end of the day, our joy is to deliver you safely and happily to your destination.
At that point, I would like to know what you think about Sheila and what she has said. I think her argument is very simple, it's basic. She says your safety comes first. So your safety supersedes your schedule. So if you're in a rush, you'd rather arrive safe, rather be late than not,
Yes,
not
exactly.
arrive. Not arrive. So I don't know, what has been your experience with our airlines, not just JamboJet, across the board? Talk to us. Our socials we have shared before, KTN Home, Queen Tambori. Let us know what your experience has been so far. I would like to switch gears a bit now to matters industry. I believe at least we've got a feel of what your job entails, and I think you ladies are doing amazing stuff.
Thank
You
you.
clap for yourself. When it comes to matters industry, and this is basically not directly affecting JamboJet, it could be in one way or the other. But Ruth, do you think that women in aviation industry are invisible?
I will say yes, and I will say no.
Now you're becoming a politician.
I'll say yes, they are invisible. A few years ago, you will see most of the supervisors, most of the managers in various companies.
Yeah.
You will see the male-dominated roles. But I think with the time, it has started to emerge that ladies can actually do what male gender can do. So it is changing slowly, but guess what? JamboJet has already cleared the bridge. So yes, I can say yes, they are invisible, but I'm encouraging any lady, any woman out there, that whatever your passion is, please go for it. Of course, there is an element of praying, there's an element of patience, there's an element of passion. You have to be self-driven. Don't wait for your manager or your colleagues to appraise you on your good work. Sometimes just be self-driven. That will motivate you. There are those slow moments you will have at workplace, but they are very few. I can tell you, for me, they are very few, because I like interacting with people, and people, I mean guests, and that includes my colleagues at work. So that one makes my life so easy at work.
Wow.
Yes.
Sheila, in your industry, I'm told that women hold very few senior executive positions. Of course, when you walk into the airline, you see very beautiful ladies. But most of the time, they are either at the entry level or mid-management, but rarely at the top. And I only say on this show that, from experience, of course, of doing interviews, I realize that this is actually very common in almost every other industry. Actually, they say that the same is true on the flight deck, where women represent about 5% of the global pilot population, and even smaller percentage of captains. So it's like they come in large numbers, but somewhere along the line, as they grow up that ladder, the numbers quickly diminish. What would you probably identify as some of those workplace barriers that make most industries bleed women in terms of numbers when it gets to the executive position, the key decision-making positions? What do you think? Shida iko wapi? And not just Shida, because we are also all about solutions. What can we do? Yani, we are just here having this small discussion, but there are very many women who are watching this today. What is it that we can do? How can we inspire ourselves to grow and to take up spaces, to have seats at the table?
First, I would say I'm happy with the current trend.
Yeah.
I've seen many women grow into these positions. I like it when I see women in power and in various places. They encourage others to hold and go for those positions. So as an industry, I would say what bars women mostly is family matters. Women I would say they're so much committed at times to family, which is very good. However, they should juggle between family and career. So sometimes you'll find that women get into career, and then when they start, let's say, having kids and everything, they divert their attentions and sometimes feel like it's too much for them and they give up along the way. So what I would encourage even employers to do is, you know, just encourage even young mothers to be there, to hold on, let them have those conditions that are good. Like for us, we have the mother's room, you know, so let us have those spaces so that women will come and give their all in careers. Sometimes, you know, they shy away from these positions because they're like, now you see, if I get this position, will I be able to give this much in terms of what I can say is when the environment is good, they will be so much productive that the maternity leave days in this case will not even count. You see, yes. So that has been a barrier according to me, but it is one that we are slowly overcoming. Yes.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and I think also to add on what Sheila said is sensitizing the young girls. And of course, career during high school period to be taken through career guidance. That will really help the young girls when they come up on making some of the decisions. Yes.
You've been in the industry for how many years now?
13 years.
Ooh, okay. 13 years is a long time.
Yes.
You think that there is enough room for mentorship for young women who join the career? Are you holding them? Are you holding their hands? Are you walking with them? Is the airline industry, is it friendly to women? Yeah.
I will say, and again, a gratitude to Jumbo Jet that they have done so much mentorship. If you come to where I work, I have someone I'm mentoring, and I have someone in Jumbo Jet that I'm looking up to. So that mentorship is really important, and I wish that all the companies can emulate that so that we can have a well-built team and a well-built team, and you know, people can take up our roles, or people we can see and admire. Yes. So yes. Mentorship is not, I can't say it's done so well within all the organizations, but it is there in Jumbo Jet.
If Ruth's employer does not give her a salary increment after this show, we are going to put up a case because she's saying very nice things about Jumbo Jet. And our dream also as a show, as our wish is that, you know, we create an enabling environment for all, for women, for men across the board. We are very much against gender discrimination. And one thing actually, Sheila, that affects many industries is sexual harassment. Okay, and I know your job is so relational. You know, you have to have a good relationship with your clients. You know, the customer service has to be top-notch. True. How would you rate that in the airline industry? Are there incidences of sexual harassment? How does it affect the performance of, you know, women, men? Because I believe that men are equally harassed. And what do you think that other organizations such as yours can do in order to, you know, tame this menace?
Sexual harassment is everywhere. I wouldn't only narrow it to aviation. It's something that I would say so many people deal with. And I think how we can deal with it is just having legislations that are followed. Let us know that this is this is the extent to which I can reach in trying to be friendly with someone or trying to get them to come to my side in an opinion or something. So what I like with Jumbo Jet is they've done so much of sensitization when it comes to harassment, not only sexual, but you see the different forms of harassment, and people know that when someone does this beyond this measure, then it is harassment, you see. So what I would say is if once people are sensitized, because someone may do it, by the way, unknowingly. You know, yes, ignorance. I just didn't know that by saying this, I am harassing you in a way. You get it? So if we are sensitized and we know that, you know, when I do this to this extent, then I could be harassing her. Or if someone does this to me or says this to me, then they are harassing me sexually, then we'll combat the menace. I would say that. Because, again, you see, harassment, even sexual harassment does not have to be, it doesn't have to be physical. It can also be verbal. But you know, the verbal part, people kind of overlook. Yes. So when everyone is sensitized and they know this is where I can get and this is where I cannot get, then we will have dealt with it as a society.
It's tough. Look, are there incidences of men being harassed sexually in the airline industry? I know Jumbo Jet is clean.
Yes, okay, you can say that again.
Personally, I've never been harassed. And I always tell my colleagues who come up with those kind of cases, I tell them, by the way, disapprove them with your results sometimes. And so fortunately, I've never been harassed by any man. I think because probably I've drawn clear lines, and there's also a lot of sensitization within the company. So I couldn't say I haven't. However, we talked about stereotyping at some point. You see, stereotyping is slightly different, but that's something that we cannot not also get out of the society completely. Even today morning when I was driving to work, when I was going through a bump and a certain matatu was crossing on the other side, walipita, and then they were like, yeah, tulijua ni mwanamke. So those kind of, yes, but you see, it's not that I was overtaking them. I just slowed down through a pump, but for them, you see, they are rough. So sensitization is really, really important.
It's important.
Yes.
Well said.
Thank you.
What does success look like for you, Sheila?
For me, success, I would measure my success by the number of people I will have mentored to take up my position by the time I retire or by the time I decide to take up a different path in life. Yes. So that would be my ultimate success.
Your ultimate success.
Yes.
Okay. You know, for many of us, Ruth, when it comes to, you know, letting our hair down, relaxing, we're always thinking of, you know, traveling and going to places. Yeah. But now, for you, traveling is your career. Yeah. So what do you do to wind down to relax?
We take moments out. Okay, when I'm not working, I like taking excursions. And either I'm with the family, excursions, or I'm cooking. Try my pancakes. You will know.
Why didn't you bring them on the show?
I know. Oh, you know.
This would have been your moment.
I know, right?
Shine.
Right? Yeah. I will do that next time. I know you will have me another time, so I will bring you pancakes.
I like your spirit. Grace, we need to bring back food because we need to taste.
Yeah, you need to test my pancakes.
Pancakes. Yes. Yeah, Sheila, what do you do when you're not at work and controlling the airspace?
I don't control the airspace.
You and God, you belong in the same.
I know, yeah. So for me, I love reading. Yes, so I usually have a target of at least a book or two in a month. So that's what I'll do, and listening to music. That's all I'll do. Just relax. Yes. But if I get a place by the beach,
why not?
Why not?
Yeah. Nice. Well, this has been our standards. As usual, we are very happy to introduce to you women in the industry, women making waves, women who are running with walls, you know, breaking walls, breaking glass ceilings. And today we were privileged to be in the company of two such amazing women. Ruth Mayaka is Ground Operations Manager at Jumbo Jet, and Sheila Bonyo also works at the same airline but as a flight dispatch manager. We've had an amazing time. I have learned a lot, okay? I just need to, you know, break it down and digest it bit by bit. But you know what? The thing about this show is we do not end the conversation here. Let us catch up on social media. 1 hour or 45 minutes is not enough for us to, you know, dissect issues and break down some of the comments or the questions that you've sent us. Remember, you can hit us up at on our socials at KTN Home, Quintambori, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Also, you can hit up our Madam Producer. One day we will bring, you'll see her face, we'll bring her on the show. She's called Grace Waweru. You can also talk to her. We very much appreciate your feedback. Talk to us, tell us what you think about the show. Thank you so much for the questions that have been coming in. Tell us the discussions you want us to have, and of course, if there are any women that we need to, you know, you need to know and we need to interview, we'd be very, very much glad to welcome your opinion. Well, or they say what has a beginning must have an end, and of course, after having an awesome time with these women, we just have to say kwaheri. We hope to see you at the ramp.
No.
At Jambo Jet.
At the air side, yes. At ramp, yes. On the air.
Yeah, when you see these beautiful ladies, please make sure you send a shout out to them. Now, till next time, my name is Quintambori. I've been your host. Bye for now. See you next week.
Good afternoon. My name is Benson Mulandi. I'm the sales and the marketing manager for 4 Points, Nairobi Airport. I would like to start by welcoming you to 4 Points at the airport. A lot of people don't know we have 4 Points at the airport because we also have another airport at Alingam, which is the oldest. So many people tend to just notice the one for Alingam. But here we are going to be 5 years here at the airport in October. So we started the hotel in 2017. It's a big hotel actually, and a lot of Kenyans don't know we have a very big hotel at the airport of 172 rooms. We also do conference facilities for corporates. We also do a lot of you know, leisure travel and also business meetings. We do have a lot of facilities for families. We have restaurants, 2 of them. We have a rooftop bar and a restaurant, which has got which is usually very popular because of we call it Tanzama, because when you are there, actually you can see the flights as they land and they take off. So the name Tanzama favors the restaurant very well. And from the restaurant, you can also see actually the Nairobi National Park. A lot of people don't know actually Nairobi National Park extends all the way to Syokimau. So this side of Syokimau, you can see the national park, and you can also see the animals. Usually very early in the morning, you can see zebras and the rest, but we don't usually have the big cats like lions on this side. So don't get scared coming to the airport because you think, you know, you might meet a lion, you know, when they have jumped the fence. So welcome everyone. We also have family events. You can organize your events here, like let's say for example for ladies, you can have baby showers, you can have chamas meetings also. So facilities are many. So I would like to welcome everyone to 4 Points Nairobi Airport. It's a very popular hotel, and we are going far. We also starting another 4 Points by Sheraton at Kampala, which is supposed to open in the last quarter of this year. So I would like to welcome everyone, every Kenyan. Please pay us a visit and see what we can give to you. Thank you.